In this video, we're going to discuss how to do the simplest tiles on the air activation. So the first step is to use an application to record your track. I like to use Gaia GPS, but there's many out there. So you start the recording. So that will allow you to get your distance that you walked or you hiked or you biked. Once you complete your walk, or at least you are at the middle of your walk, in some part of your walk, you decide that you have a nice site to activate. In this case, this is a local forest that we use for walks. You're going to find the location where it's safe and it's legal to do your radio activation. Don't forget, safety of you and others is the most important thing. In this case, I'm just finding a little bench and I'm going to sit here to do my quick radio activation just for this video. I'm going to use an HT. So I'm turning on the HT in the video. I'm using a memory where I have the local repeater in Stone Mountain saved. And I know that I can hit the repeater. And make sure that if you decide to use a repeater, you're going to listen first and ask for permission to do this activity. So once you're ready to start calling, you're going to spot yourself using the Tiles on the Air website, and you're posting a spot using your call sign, the band, in this case 2 meters, the receiver input frequency, and then the mode and a few other details that are going to go into the spot page of the website. Once you're ready to go, you just say post the spot. The grid square, it's basically you need to know it a priori. So in this case, it's the local grid square for this particular place. So you see you have the light spot there. So now that you've spotted yourself, you see how you are at the park in the Gaia GPS app. That's the location where we're gonna do the activation. You wanna save that GPS location. There's many ways to save that GPS location. You can take a screenshot, for example, and save the screenshot so you can use it later. That's one way, or you could add a waypoint. That's another way of doing it. But the important thing is that you save the location of the site. And for logging the QSOs, just use your favorite logging application. I'm using Polo here. And I'm using an old activation just for the sakes of the video. And I'm simulating a contact with a friend. And I'm putting in the band, the frequency. And you see I have an old contact there that I'm going to delete because that's just not part of today's activation. But you would create one from scratch basically if you didn't want to have that type of QSO recorded in the activation. So now that you have your QSOs recorded, you're going to finish your activity, and then once you're finished your activity, you're going to finish your track. So you have the total distance. In this case, it was 1.55 miles, I believe. You see the track recorded by the application, 1.56 miles, and it took me 34 minutes to do it. So the next step is to export your activation file from the logging application. There's different ways of doing this. I'm going here to the full ADIF export. You can send it by email or you can save locally to your phone. You can send it to yourself by email if you want, if that's what you want to do. And once you have exported it, you're ready to go into the Tiles on the Air website. You click Start Logging, and that will take you to the activation page. And once you are in the activation page, you can enter all the details. You see that the activation page also has a summary of what are the types of QSOs that are allowed, but this is what the intake form for the activation looks like. You select your activation type, your activity type, the distance. I am going to type in 1.55. If you're using a heavy backpack, you can use that to gain some bonus points. Also, if you have a significant elevation gain. And then you're going to upload the ADIF file, in this case from the files app on an iPhone. You gotta navigate to the right website, remember where it was saved, and it will tell you that it was successfully activated. You see that there's a grid that it's taken from the ADIF file, but the correct grid is actually the one that results from the GPS location that you're going to type in. Okay, so you need to use the GPS location for the site of activation. And what this does is basically allows you to display both the square or the tile that you activated and also the specific location where you activated. If you operated QRP, you can note that. If you sent a WinLink message or an APRS message, also you get extra points if you activate with pets or kids. And you can make the activation private if you want, so it won't show anywhere. But once you record all the details for the activation, this is a summary. It tells you the activation points, which are calculated by multiplying the number of QSOs by the number of miles that your activity took. It also gives you the what three words location. And the app has a map, like I was telling you. So you see this is the location of the bench where we did the radio activation. It also has other features. You have a leaderboard to compare your performance against other tiles on the air activators. And it also has an achievement system, so you can unlock different achievements if you do activations with kids, if you do activations with pets, even if you have a disability and you are still doing an activation, you can record it. So thank you for watching. Give it a try.